So this is gonna be like a half rant and then a half serious. So the first rant is like I tried to send Western Union transfer. This is only 4,000 baht, barely like like just a little bit above 100 US. And they charge me like a 15% fee, and their rate is super shitty. So obviously I didn't make the transfer because this is really bad, and like Indonesia is not that far. So this is completely insane. This is just out of whack. So so I tweeted at them, they didn't reply, Western Union. They wouldn't. Okay, the other rant is, just one link very fast. Yeah, we gotta share, right?
Yeah, we still have to share.
Yeah, or something. Okay. The other rant is, okay, so I tried explaining to somebody how to like donate in like one of my grants I was making, but then afterwards they didn't know what DAI is because they needed to use DAI, they couldn't use Ether itself. So that was the main challenge. Like, okay, like if the user tells you, okay, what am I gonna do? I don't understand, and then you need to explain what a stablecoin is or a DAI. Like that's a massive friction. So I was telling other developers, okay, like you guys could we make like a make it work button where like the wallet would actually straight go to Uniswap, swap the Ether to DAI, and then make the transaction or whatever needs to get done. I think with tooling, it can happen. It's just like it hasn't happened yet. So
does the user not have to make a particular decision about which asset is going to be swapped out in the wallet?
So let's say, okay, let's take an example. Let's say you have a grant and it only accepts like a stablecoin, let's say DAI. If you know that, then probably, and you know that like when the user comes on your site and they agree to like interact with your app, you can know their balance, their Ether balance or their DAI balance or whatever wallet token. If you see that they don't have any of those tokens or like whatever transfer they want to make, you let the user, hey, we can transfer this for you and make the transaction. They click yes, boom. Those double action, happens.
Yeah,
I think
an exchange under the hood.
Under the hood, yeah.
Yeah, it's one wallet has that.
I think there is no wallet that does that for now.
Not with the button on the internet.
Yeah.
But there is one wallet or two wallets I think that I know of. They have this functionality. It's like, okay, I want to get rid of this much of this coin, and I want to get the equivalent amount of this other coin back.
Sure.
Right? So that functionality, if you have an exchange in the background, yeah.
No, I think the difference is swapping ETH with DAI and then sending DAI to another contract. These two actions, right?
Yeah, so like you want
that sort of security reasons, because the contract can't on your behalf send your DAI out. So it's more like like the first contract that you swap ETH with DAI they can't then send your DAI out for you. Like, yeah.
I think it falls more on the dApps themselves.
Yeah.
So the dApp should be able to receive whatever, and then it does the conversion itself and keeps it.
The other thing, let's see. This is just like some order. So somebody says, okay, like wrap ETH is like the way to go, and then I didn't even know what was that. It's just like apparently it's just like it's Ether wrapped so that it's like an ERC20, like it's treated like an ERC20 token, and can do.
I forgot whether it was important for being able to use it at a certain decentralized exchange, or that that you use it because you want to have it interact with DAI. But I definitely needed that before I could buy DAI. So
Oh, this one?
The ether becomes wrapped ether, and then the wrapped ether becomes DAI, or it can be exchanged for DAI. So because on these decentralized exchange platforms, you cannot actually use, like you can only use an ERC20 token, and Ethereum is not an ERC20 token, so you want to have it represented as an ERC20 token.
Way
so
to
you're
go.
right about that.
Yeah, so you got it. And actually, like, so you know, you got the point right there. Does anybody have like a comment on this?
Yeah, actually, I think it's more than just like having a ERC20. Actually, it's like ERC20 have two more functionalities. When you can actually allow another account to spend on your behalf some tokens, like transfer from and something like this.
I think it's allowance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess this is a really useful functionalities for many different apps.
Yeah. So like you allow the contract to trade to a degree, and then the contract can like do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right. What's the other rant? Okay. So our friend Chris here, he was here and he presented on Ether Classic presentation, like a very nice presentation. So I caught one of his tweets to like one of the founders of Gitcoin, and so what is happening here is like this guy, Ryan Adams. I think I'm not familiar with him, but like he's doing like a specialized newsletter on DeFi, and like how you can take advantage of like the DeFi ecosystem and potentially like make money and things like that, right? So, but then the newsletter is not public, it's private. But this guy applied for a Gitcoin grant, and the way Gitcoin grant works is like the more people give you, the more diverse people give you money, the more Gitcoin matches that from the Gitcoin pool. So like Chris was saying that this is not fair because this guy's value is not, you cannot really consider it as a public good. This is more like a private good, where like the user comes in, they pay the money, and then they have access to the newsletter or whatever article. So I think I backed him up, retweeted like Chris has a point, and things like that. And and they said, okay, we're gonna look for a way to filter all of the projects that apply for a grant, because like if you have like some not so public goods related projects, those people can just like almost, it's not stealing, but well, you could say stealing money from like projects that could be going to take advantage of where like a single developer developing something really good, like just, and who's not getting paid anything, they wouldn't get that contribution match.
You're describing politics.
Huh?
You're describing politics.
They do that.
The manipulation of policies for your benefit.
Yeah, who decides what public good is? So
Yeah.
that's a problem with this in general. And
Yeah.
if you go into like, for example, charities that help I don't know, like people in Burma, whatever, you go look into the nitty-gritty of how that works. Yeah, and then it's actually like basically it's very hard to do charity in a way that is not benefiting specific people.
It may just be, just like this, it's probably not benefit good, but because there is this question about certain things, it has a weird flavor,
Yeah, I think at least for me, the way I judge it is like, okay, like is this open or not? It's private. Like if you're just like a random user on the internet, you're gonna access that. And if you want to access that, you have to pay for it. So, like, should this project really be
Who
applied
has
for?
to decide that? Is that the people that put the money in the funds for Gitcoin, or is that going to be everybody votes?
I mean, like anybody can so Gitcoin has a pool or like fund, and anybody can like submit money to that, and then like their matching will just figure out which project gets more of that pool of money. So controversial. That's why it's on the news.
Yeah.
So now, end of rant. Now the serious part. So apparently with e-wallet, I think browsers, apparently, I don't know how true this is, but I think it's a possibility. So browsers, like like your phone browser or your browser on your laptop would be able to run Solidity code. So like, what do you guys think would be the implications of that? I think that's like a very big thing coming up. So
What do you mean by run Solidity code? Like,
so let's say like right now, your browser kind of like, let's say they can't run, like let's say, how do you call it? They can't run Solidity code. Like let's say, they kind of like guess the state of, okay, if you send a transaction, they kind of guess what the state of that thing's gonna be, like in when that transaction is successful.
could you compare this to like MetaMask then?
MetaMask. So MetaMask, right, takes your transaction
Oh.
and broadcasts it to the network, right? Wait. No. Sorry. I'm thinking of Infura. So MetaMask is like your in-browser wallet.
Yep.
So this one, I think, is like MetaMask mainly deals with like signing transactions, basically, like protecting your private key